Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN, drops the bombshell, says that Nigeria is losing 120 million naira daily because of the drop in the pump price of petrol in January. Our viewers in the UK can now watch channels on Channels UK 24 on B-Sky B as the station is officially launched today. And court denies freezing accounts of Benue and Plateau state governments over failure to comply with judgments granting judicial workers financial autonomy. And Burundi's President Pierre Nkurunziza survives coup d'etat. Plotters arrested.
And on Business News tonight, data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows the nation's real GDP rate is on the rise, even as the consumer prices also on the rise.
And in sports news, Kelechi Iheanacho and Isaac's success in as Flying Eagles coach Manu Garba finally unveils his squad for this month's FIFA Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand.
We'll begin tonight with news from the federal government saying that it loses 120 million naira daily since Sunday, January 18th this year, when it reduced pump price by 10 naira. This is according to Mr. Obafemi Olawore, Executive Secretary of the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN. He explains that the landing cost at that time when crude oil prices dropped was 96 naira per litre, and that it was convenient to MOMAN members to begin repayment of subsidy loans. Our correspondent Henry Ogunjimi looks at the impact of the current situation on the nation.
The shortage in supply of petrol has been on for some time now, with different stakeholders giving different reasons for the scarcity. But more worrisome is the revelation coming from the Executive Secretary of the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria of how much the government loses daily since the reduction of the pump price.
We got it wrong when we refused to allow government to deregulate in 2012. First, we must have the courage to deregulate. Otherwise, we must have the courage to pay the subsidy. At the time government reduced from 97 to 87, we had entered what we call over-recovery. We were going to pay back to government. If government had not come down to 87, that week we were to pay back 3 naira per litre to government. So government lost a lot. 3 naira times 40 million litres, that's 120 million naira, is what we should have been paying government daily.
The body also says that its members are still being held by the federal government.
As at 31st of March, they are owing us 354 billion naira, out of which we have been paid 154 billion. Simple arithmetic. We have 200 billion remaining. All right. Whoever chooses a smaller figure is probably choosing a date earlier than 31st of March.
The limited supply of the product has forced the attention of the entire country's demand to be on Lagos, bringing thousands of trucks and tankers to the nation's commercial capital daily, and forcing the state government to move to save the traffic situation, especially around their Papa metropolis.
Every enforcement agency which are to work with PTD, the petroleum tankers, NATO, NUPENG, and their members on the need to leave the highways within 48 hours and to enforce all road traffic laws, all road traffic law violations by tanker drivers and truck drivers afterwards.
The truck drivers show some understanding in the matter.
As law-abiding organizations, we call on all our members, the owners and the drivers, to comply with the vacation order while the two organizations are working with government and other key stakeholders.
As the country continues to battle with the current imbalance in supply and distribution, there is an urgent need to increase supply, and unfortunately, the only option is to increase the volume of importation. Henry Ogunjimi, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Finance has faulted the claims by the Oil Marketers Association that they are still being owed the federal government. In a swift reaction, the media aide to the Finance Minister, Mr. Paul Nwabuko, told Channels Television over the payment of 153 billion naira, which is foreign exchange differential of the money owed. Mr. Nwabuko said that the government has insisted that the claims was to be verified by the ministry and the Central Bank of Nigeria because of the history of the marketers. He said the Nigerians will not be happy with the government if such payments is made without verification by the Finance Ministry. The Executive Secretary of the Major Oil Marketers Association, Mr. Obafemi Olaore, said that 3 jetties controlled by the union in Apapa, Lagos State, were discharging fuel, but lack of funds, of course, affected the importation of petroleum products. Now, the Federal High Court says that at no time did it give any order to freeze the accounts of both Benue and Plateau States. Chief Registrar of the court, Mrs. Roselyn Ogogori, clarified the ruling in a suit filed by Judicial Workers Union in both states. She explained that the trial judge, Justice Adeni Ademola, ordered that over 900 million naira be attached to the case of Benue State. And for the accounts of the Plateau State government, over 800 million naira would be attached. According to her, this means that the monies should be kept aside temporarily, pending when the government of the 2 states appear before the court to show cause as to why the order should not be absolute. Judiciary workers in Benue and Plateau states had approached the Federal High Court seeking an order to compel their state governments to comply with the 2013 Federal High Court judgment granting financial autonomy to the judiciary. An FCT High Court today ordered commercial banks with custody of funds belonging to the subscribers of the Nigeria Labour Congress Mass Housing Scheme to deposit the money in the custody of the bank. This is to prevent any action that may be detrimental to the cause of justice. At the resumed hearing of the suit filed by both the subscribers and the developers, Kristen Lally, the court agreed with the counsel to the subscribers that the funds should be in the custody of the court pending the determination of the suit.
At the resumed hearing of the suit filed by subscribers of the Nigerian Labour Congress Housing Scheme, the court heard several applications filed by parties in the suit. However, an important application was that of the subscribers seeking an order of the court to take custody of the funds pending the determination of the suit.
A number of applications were taken, including applications from some of the banks where this money is custodied to deposit the money in the custody of the court. And several of those applications have been granted, ordering the banks concerned to deposit the money in the custody of the court, pending the determination of this case.
Reacting to the ruling, subscribers of the failed mass housing scheme expressed hope that the case would lead to a refund of their deposits in the shortest possible time. On its part, the Nigerian Labour Congress promised to do its best to ensure that subscribers are protected.
The money has been hanging for over 2 years, and exploring all options to get this money has failed, and we know that eventually court is going to do the right thing, especially when the custody of the money is going to be taken by the court. So we are optimistic that the case is going to be in our favor.
If there's any party that is traumatized, that is so concerned, as far as this matter is concerned, is my client, the Nigerian Labour Congress. Because over 80% of the persons who subscribed to this scheme did so relying on the integrity of NLC. And so therefore, NLC as an organization, a responsible one at that is committed to protecting, defending and promoting the rights, interest, and well-being of Nigerian workers will ensure, will leave no stone unturned, that every person who paid a penny, who paid a kobo under this scheme is funded their monies.
The court is adjourned to the 5th of June to decide on an application by one of the banks which has custody of the fund to have its name struck out of the suit. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
Now, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, may be licking its wounds over the defeat by the APC, but the party believes that it will soon bounce back. Well, the Secretary to the Post-Election Committee investigating the loss of the party, Mr. Wali Jibrin, told journalists today in Abuja that the committee is making progress in its findings. He asked every member to be patient with them.
That at this stage, we are cooling down our members to be very patient with the outcome of this committee job. This job is one of the most important jobs ever given by the party, and we have all agreed to judiciously look at the matters and ensure that our party comes back strongest, and to say that we are going to be very, very fair in what we are doing. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We are not going to fear anybody. The committee also met the chairman of Board of Trustees, Chief Tony Aneni, who also gave his blessing to this committee. This committee also met the President of the Senate, who has also given his blessing to this committee. So who among the stakeholders that you say are not giving their go-ahead to this committee? If this committee were just formed like that, without any consultation, would that not go ahead, you will not even see me here at all. I will not participate, but I believe in what the formation of the committee, I believe in what the committee is going to do.
Mr. Wali Jibrin investigating, of course, the loss of the PDP to the APC. Well, in part two, after the break, Army relaxes curfew in Maiduguri and environs, but warns citizens to be vigilant. Stay with us.